From AccuWeather.com, this is AccuWeather Daily, a brief host-read article. It's weather news in a nutshell. If you are a skier in the Northeast, well, don't wax the skis just yet. The clock is ticking on a November-like weather pattern with much warmer conditions and sunshine on tap just in time for the weekend. Following the cold winds, the chaotic rain showers, and even some pockets of snow, a marked turnaround is in store just in time for Saturday. A big dip in the jet stream will be replaced by a large area of high pressure. And while it looked and felt like the weather jumped forward in time by a full month, it will jump back by about a month for the weekend, with temperatures more on par for the middle of September. Widespread highs in the 70s are in store, with some northern tier and mountain areas to max out in the upper 60s. Some locations will even reach the low 80s as the pattern continues into next week. Conditions this weekend will be delightful by October standards for attending ball games, going for an autumn walk, playing a round of golf if you like, or just spending some time outdoors. The generally enjoyable weather will come at a cost, though. October has gotten off to an incredibly dry start, and in some cases, it has never been this dry so far into the month. Take Philadelphia as an example. Prior to this year, Philadelphia's previous driest start in October was back in 1940, when there was no measurable rain through the 14th. October 15th of 1940 brought about a third of an inch to the Philadelphia area, snapping the streak. Well, the dry streak continues this year, and it may last for many more days. It's a similar story for New York City, with this year replacing the driest start on record for October. The prior dry start to the month was a tie between 1914 and 1974. Both years brought significant rain on the 15th. Well, this year, the streak with no measurable rain may continue well into next week in New York's Central Park. The dry ground will allow the mid to late October sun to focus its energy on heating the air, which may cause temperatures to surge during the afternoon hours in the region. For a few hours, it may feel quite warm in the sun. On the other side of the country, it will be the opposite. The coldest air of the season so far will sweep across the western U.S. and is forecast to take root over the Rockies and Great Basin through the weekend. AccuWeather meteorologists expect snowflakes to fly over many of the higher elevations, with locally heavy snow in store for some of the high country. The sweep of chilly air is marking an end to what has been a long, hot summer for much of the interior West. Temperatures from June through August were about 3 to 8 degrees above the historical average, and then the temperature departures increased from September to the first week of October, even more extreme at between 5 and 10 degrees above the historical average. The evolving chill will send temperatures 5 to 10 degrees below the historical average in many areas, and even 15 degrees lower than average in some locations. At this level, it may feel like the middle of November rather than the middle of October. Because the air will be even colder in the middle and upper parts of the atmosphere, and a large and slow-moving storm will grab some Pacific moisture before heading inland, rain showers will proliferate over the valleys and intermediate elevations of the interior. The colder air will allow some snowflakes to mix in at some intermediate elevations as well, and mostly snow over the high country. More substantial snow will fall over the higher elevations of the intermountain west, including in areas all the way down into Arizona and New Mexico. Snow levels will be such that from 8,500 to 9,000 feet in elevation, several inches of snow up to a foot may pile up, leaving many of the mountains in Colorado, Utah, and Wyoming capped in snow by the end of the weekend. Snow of varying intensity may fall on some of the high country through the weekend. Now, it is possible where a heavy blanket of snow occurs that some ski resorts may be able to open a bit earlier than currently projected. And hey, if you missed the so-called supermoon last night, well, you've got another chance this evening. This is the third of 4 consecutive supermoons this year, and it will appear a little bigger and a little brighter than a normal full moon. October's full moon is also known as the hunter moon, as it is the time of year when hunters would traditionally begin hunting to store meat and other food ahead of the winter months. Other nicknames for October's full moon include the falling leaves moon, the migrating moon, and the freezing moon. And that is just the prelude to the Orionid meteor shower, which will start on Sunday night and into the early Monday morning hours. The mid October Orionids are typically one of the best meteor showers of autumn. However, this year the event may fizzle rather than sizzle due to the full moon hanging out in the sky. Most years, the Orionids offer around 20 shooting stars per hour, double that of the Draconids earlier in the month. Of course, due to a near full moon, the meteor shower will be hampered. Onlookers should be able to still spot a handful of shooting stars throughout the night, especially after midnight. For the best chance of seeing meteors, experts recommend focusing on dark areas of the sky where the moon is out of sight. That's all for now. For more stories and regional forecasts, visit AccuWeather.com. And for your local forecast at your fingertips, including a hurricane tracker, download the AccuWeather app. Enjoy the rest of your day, be safe, and I'll be back tomorrow with more from AccuWeather.